Hi guys, I just came from workout. I'll be back. I'm back guys. The first topic out of three topics today is about customer satisfaction and quality score. There was one subscriber who asked me about this particular topic, and definitely this is an important one. Uh, I'd like to show you a set of uh, data showing CSAT or customer satisfaction and quality score. So these are random numbers, and I did a quick study. I did a regression, and which showed a very low R square, meaning the outputs are unpredictable, meaning there really is no uh, statistical correlation between customer satisfaction and, and quality score. But how is that possible, guys? Because precisely the reason why we want to improve quality is for us to be able to satisfy our customers, right? But how come that when we survey them after each of call or after every transaction, they are giving us a low customer satisfaction score? And for those who are uh, experienced in QA or training or operations, sometimes find it strange that quality score is always very good, yet the customers are not satisfied. So, all of these things, if you apply the DMAIC approach in Six Sigma, DMAIC meaning you first define, you establish a baseline, then you collect data. M stands for measure, and then analyze, just like what I did. I did a simple linear regression to check whether there is a correlation or a relationship between customer satisfaction and CSAT, to which I found nothing. So in that particular phase, which is the analyze phase, that's where the action really starts. Listen to calls, consult your customers, and figure out which part of the call or which particular service that we are giving them, or probably the product that we provide them, are unsatisfactory. And once we are able to really figure out the root causes, we go to improve phase, we be more agile, we implement solutions, and if they are not working properly, then we pull the plug, again, learn from those experiences, and start new set of action plans. And then, of course, in the DMAIC phases, the last one is the control phase, wherein we use control charts so that the good things that happen after our project will be properly maintained. And if there are any changes that have to be made, we will be able to do that in a timely manner. So again, it is normal, if I may say that word, that sometimes what seems to be correlated or related, like QA score and CSAT, and when you collect data, it wouldn't appear as such. That's where your knowledge of Six Sigma would come into play. So think about that, and the next time you see your QA and CSAT scores, feel free to consult me, and we will apply what I've said so far. But on your own, start looking at the data, start looking at the process itself. There is something that we call Gemba, which is about looking at the nitty-gritty process. Maybe you can sit in with an agent who are taking those calls and observe how they are passing the QA parameters versus the way they interact with customers. Maybe the QA parameters that we are using are not complementary to what the customers really want. That's where calibration and further surveys would come into play. All right? So let me pause here and I'll come back with the second topic.